Welcome back to another episode of Life Unmedicated. Let's see, today is I have my phone with me this time. I'm gonna be organized and concise. Whoop whoop. So today is October 16th, 2024, and this is episode 92 um, of Life Unmedicated. Thank you for joining me. Okay, so first things first, it's Tuesday. It's Wednesday. Oh, it's Wednesday. Dang. Well, it's Wednesday. I usually mean to do these on Sunday or Monday, but this week I just kind of got a little thrown off, but I didn't want to skip because I just started, right? Just started back. So I'm like, okay, better late than never. Shout out to Candy. So actually shout out to Riley. Period. Anyway, so this week we're gonna go over last week's goals, set this week's goals and intentions, and then we're gonna talk about a couple things. So last week my goals were to complete and submit my California licensure app, um, define my intentions for where I want to take this, eat well, and to work out. So I would say I got 3 out of 4 of those done. I finished and submitted my application. Woohoo! Paid all the money. Paid all the money. Um, which is a little irritating to me because I feel like as the Board of Social Sciences, you should know that we don't get paid that much. So charging upwards of $500 for a license, I mean that's a lot of money. Maybe not comparatively. I don't know. Some of y'all might have other licenses that cost more. That I don't know about that. I just know about this. So, but to me, that just seems like a lot of money. But I'm gonna write it right on off, so it's okay. Um, I ate well. I worked out, hit my goals. Whoop de woo. Um, what else did I do? So I did think a lot about what I want this to be. I thought about the intention and I thought about where I could take it or how I can pivot, but nothing stuck with me. Nothing like stuck out to me, so I didn't accomplish that goal, but not for lack of trying because I did try. I just didn't succeed, unfortunately. But I think it's okay. This is kind of bothering me. I want it to be a little more. Yeah. It did bother me a little. I mean, it bothers me that I didn't finish it, but I actually am not that bothered because I really did try. Maybe if I like sit down and try to write it out. I've been reading this book called it's kind of a long. It's called The Richest Man Who Ever Lived. Um, it's called The Richest Man Who Ever Lived, King Solomon's Secrets to Success, Wealth, and Happiness. It's by Stephen K. Scott. 10 out of 10 recommend. I mean, I'm only on chapter 6 so far, but it's just been very eye opening. Anyway, before I get lost in that thought, my point in saying that was I've been reading this book and it's been driving some points home about diligence, communication, setting intentions. And so there's a segment in there, like kind of a checklist that I want to really sit down and do. And I've been trying to think, like, what area of my life could I do it for? Because in my career, I've already reached the highest level of licensure. Although there are so many more things I could do in my career, I just kind of have to figure out what I want to do and then set the intention for that, write that out, all that stuff. And so maybe if I do the same thing for this, maybe that'll help me kind of find an intention. Uh, but I haven't done it yet. I just kind of thought about it in my head. But one of the things that the book was saying was to write stuff out because it just makes it just it's I can't remember exactly what it said, but the gist was that it makes it more real. So yeah, that'll okay. So that can be one of my goals for this week. New goals. Okay, y'all know I got to do things in the moment. So Where was I? Okay, so 3 out of 4 ain't bad, honestly. What else did I do? Oh, I went to the Black Love Summit on Saturday, which was really cool. I think it would have been better if I had like a partner to go with. There were a lot of panels or panel discussions about like being in a relationship. There were a couple about not being in a relationship though, or like one of the segments was called like to bay or not to bay, which was really cute. I enjoyed that segment a lot. I thought it would be a little more like moving around, up and about, mingling, mixing, which I really did like the setup, but I was feeling a little antsy that day. So like sitting down for hours on end made me a little bit anxious, honestly, a little restless. So yeah, that was that. But I really did enjoy the panels and the speakers. They gave us these amazing gift bags. Shout out to Tracy Ellis Ross because the bag was like full of pattern products, real full size pattern products. And I scanned them on Yuka and they all had pretty good ratings. The styling cream was like 49, which because it had like a moderately um concerning additive, but unless you use it like on your scalp and every day, it's not like a big deal. So shout out to her for making, non-harmful products and for giving us full size products. That's shout out to you, girl. Um so yeah, that was a good time. Then I took myself on a date, which was really nice. I went to the movies and saw half of Joker because time management is not my friend. My original plan was to go to the summit, take myself to Brothers Cousins Tacos, best tacos and burritos you will have in LA, hands down. It's a taco stand. It's in West LA. If you Google it, you'll see it. The line be around the corner, but it's worth it. I promise. Get the green sauce. Make sure you get the green sauce. The salsas are good. The salsas are great. The red salsa is my favorite, but the green avocado sauce, the green sauce is good too, but make sure you get that green avocado sauce if you go. Anyway, so my plan was to go to the summit, go to Brothers Cousins, get a burrito, and then go to the beach and watch the comet or see the comet. Now, see me, I'm a social science person, not a physical science person. So, what is it? Astronomy? Would that be? I think that's astronomy. Um, not my forte. It's not my ministry. So I didn't know what to expect. I thought I was going to see something dash across the sky. That would be a shooting star. Um, so anyway, I got tickets for a Joker because I've been wanting to see that, even though social media is saying it sucked. I only got to see half of it. The movie theater was nice enough to issue me another ticket so I can go back and finish it. So I'm going to do that. I went, got my burrito, and then I went to the beach. Even though it was late and I thought that I missed it, I think God whispered in my ear, like, just go. Because either way, like, I would have gotten to experience the beach at night, which is not something I do often. And just on the off chance that it hadn't happened yet, I still would have gotten to see it. So I got my burrito. I went to the beach. I parked. I was going to sit on top of my car and eat because it was dark and I was kind of like leery about going down to the beach when it's dark. But when I went to sit on top of my car, I realized that the whole top of my car is a sunroof. And although it should be sufficient, heaven forbid I fall through my car and have to get my sunroof fixed. You know what I mean? So it just didn't seem like a smart plan. And so yeah, I took myself down to the actual sand and there were 3 people. They were sitting there with cameras, and so I was like, well, maybe they're here for the comet as well. Anyway, this is becoming way longer of a story than I thought it was going to be. But I asked them about the comet. They told me way more than I could have ever found on Google. And I didn't miss it. It was still there. Matter of fact, it's probably still there right now. And I think tonight he said, well, because he told me like 4 days and this was Sunday. No, this was Saturday. He told me 4 days. So today is Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Today would be the 4th day. So he said it'll be most visible at night tonight. So if you are well, I don't know if you're going to watch this before Wednesday, Thursday, whatever. But if you're somewhere where you have a good view of the West Coast skyline, you will be able to see the comets. So yeah, I mean, it was really cool to like find out how comets work. Not to mention, I got to witness bioluminescent waves. I didn't even know we had that in California. They were beautiful. It was majestic. I just was like, this is amazing. So I'm so glad that I decided to still pursue that endeavor. And yeah, I went home a very satisfied person. It was great. Um, but yeah, that Saturday is my designated rest day. So doing all of that kind of pushed into my Sunday. I didn't do anything Sunday. I just rested, which was fine. But the things I was supposed to do on Sunday got pushed to Monday. And so that's why I wasn't able to get all this done. Was that my point? I don't know. But to circle back, full circle moment. Anyway, so goals for this week. Those are the goals for last week. 3 out of 4. I'll pat myself on the back for that. Goals for this week. One would be to write out the intention for this as such in the book, as like in the book. As always, eating well. And this is the last week before my vacation, so I'm going to try my best to work out 6 times instead of 5 times and get and close all my rings every day. Basically, get like a perfect week. I don't know if you have like an Apple Watch, but they have like a perfect week on there. So I'm gonna try to get a perfect week. Um, I'm gonna try. At the end of the day, I have to listen to my body, and so if I need rest or if it's like no girl, then it is what it is. Or if time doesn't permit, then it just is what it is. But I'm gonna try my hardest. And then what else? I just have to pack and clean my house because I don't leave town without a clean home. Like I just don't do it. My mom said no, and I just carry that with me. So I think those are the only things I'm gonna give myself. Oh, and I have to finish this onboarding stuff. I think that was supposed to be one of my goals last week. I'm not sure. So yeah, so write out intentions, eat well, work out 6 times, pack, clean my house, and onboarding for my third job. Jesus Christ. This economy. So anyway, aside from that, okay, so what I wanted to talk about today was ADHD and friendships. I picked up a little information online and I wanted to share it and kind of just talk about it. Excuse me. Oh, no, no, no. Wrong albums. Where am I? Okay, here we go. Okay. So, I find myself so interesting because I could have swore that I saved them in a very specific place so that I wouldn't have to go back and look through all of my pictures. Yet here I am going back and looking through all of my pictures because I, in fact, did not save them in the right place. Okay, so should be anywhere. I'm about to get sad. Okay, so maybe I'll talk about the other thing first. No, okay, sorry. Give me 1 minute. Maybe I'll cut this out. Maybe. What the hell? Oh, I don't know if I told y'all this, but I took a cooking class and that was really cool. Oh, here it is. Boom. All right. So this was a post by Structured Success on Twitter. And it says, yesterday I asked what ADHD/autistic folks expect from friendships. Here are some of the common themes. Authenticity, to not have to mask constantly with friends and to be ourselves. Non-judgmental, to not feel judged for our differences or our needs. Showing up, to be there in big and small ways, whether that's checking in or major mutual aid. Accepting special interests, even if they aren't as interested as what we are in our special interests. Wait, even if they aren't as interested as we are in our special interests or hyperfixations, listening and sharing their own is just as nice. Having shared interests, what it says on the 10. Having shared interests is what they're basically saying. Balanced relationships, to not have to put in all the work of planning, messaging, supporting, etc. That is a mutual relationship. Okay. Then there was like a circle of trust. It's a way to understand different levels of relationships, and it's a bit like a process for how friends become close friends. People start out on the outside, and we slowly mutually let each other in if we're a good fit. So the outside circle was like outside the circle of trust, but people who are in your life. So like low to no trust. These might be like associates or like coworkers. Outer circle, trust with some things, casual but friendly. So that's probably more of like an associate or somebody you would call like your friend, but maybe you don't see them that often. But when you catch up, you don't mind like sharing things with them. Middle, trust to be honest and keep their word. And then the inner circle is the highest trust, soul level with deepest secrets. So I found that pretty accurate for myself. I thought it was really interesting because I had been kind of struggling with some of my feelings toward friendships. I think I mentioned it last week, and a lot of it was just like in my head as always. But you know, I think that what I've realized is I just have to be more intentional about trusting people with my, I don't want to say expectations, but my feelings. Because I don't really, I mean, I do have expectations for my close friends. I do. And I think that's okay. I think they should have expectations for me as well. I think we should all have expectations for our friends. Um, I don't think that your expectations should exceed what is realistic or what's fair, but I don't think that there's a problem in having expectations. And I think that the most important thing about having expectations is to be upfront in sharing your expectations. That way, if your expectations are exceeding the reality of the situation, that conversation can be had and you can adjust accordingly. That way, you are avoiding being upset for no reason, being in your feelings inappropriately. Well, I can't say inappropriately because feelings are valid. Feelings are not fact, but they're not fiction either, right? So your feelings are valid, but sharing your feelings is always a good move because there are sometimes when I sit around and harbor feelings and then I talk about them with the person when I'm ready, and there was no reason for me to feel like that in the first place. And I'm not saying that my feelings were invalid, but they may have been like misguided. Um, or misdirected even. So having that, being able to bring myself to have that conversation sooner than later, it is going to do wonders for me because I haven't mastered that yet. I still be in my feelings and I still get scared to share them because I'm afraid of rejection, and I've have a long history of my feelings being invalidated. So I just tend to invalidate them myself and save other people the work. So I'm trying to get through that. And that is something that I'm going to continue to have to work on. But, you know, it's something that I am committing to working on because I don't want to sit around pouting about something that I don't need to be pouting about. So I found that really interesting and I wanted to share because we were talking about that last week. Let's see, there were a couple things that uh, authenticity, non-judgment. I mean, they were all really good, all of them, honestly. But I think that the balanced relationships one hit home for me. And like, I really don't care if we have shared interests, although that is really important because I like to do things with people, but I also don't mind doing things by myself. So even if we don't have shared interests, um, that's where like the accepting special interest would come in. Like a lot of my friends accept that I'm into conspiracy theories. They may not be into them, but they totally accept that I am. Like, and we joke about it, and they send me stuff that they think I would enjoy, and I appreciate that of them and that they don't judge me. So yeah, that's really important to me too. But I think the most important is balance because I tend to feel like, which honestly I think at this point maybe I could finish my sentence before I start another one. Yes, that would help. What I was trying to say is that I find that I feel a lot of times that I like my friend more than they like me, or that I'm being more of a friend to my friend than they are to me. And this isn't all my friends, and this is not all the time. It may be one person for 1 hour until they respond to my text. You know what I mean? It's very temperamental. And so that's when I know that I'm like participating in like cognitive distortions or like negative narratives, and I just kind of talk myself out of it. But what I was going to say when I interrupted myself was that I think that we all feel that way sometimes, right? And for me, it boils down to the type of friend you are, or what type of things mean friendship to you. Like, we don't all have the same love language. We don't all have the same apology language. We don't all have the same friendship language. So I may do something that I feel is me being a good friend, and it may not come across, or it may not be perceived by my friend in that way. And they may be doing things that they feel are the makings of a good friend, and I may not value it like the way they do, so I may not perceive it that way, and that's okay. So just kind of trying to get out of my own way in these circumstances has been very helpful for me. It's been years long of journey, because I used to really like, oh my gosh, just reflecting on some screenshots that I've come across of me like being completely unrealistic with my friends, or like so demanding, and then just like so emboldened to like say it. I remember one time I told my friend, like, I see you posting on, or I told her that I heard her laughing in the back of someone's story, and I didn't appreciate that she hadn't responded to my text. Oh God, that's so embarrassing. Like, that is like so embarrassing. I was in my early 20s, and I'm completely taking responsibility for how embarrassing and ridiculous that is, especially to the fact that like when she responded, she was like, "Yo, I'm at home. I'm not even with that person." Shout out to her though for not like cursing me out. Love you, girl. You know who you are. Oh my gosh, like I could cry at some of the foolishness. Anyway, I'm so glad that I've grown since then, because God, I was insufferable. Anyway, so I meant to look at the time. I'm so sorry. This probably been like 20 minutes, because I know I'm a yapper. The other thing that I wanted to talk about was like ADHD monsters that quote unquote no one talks about. But I think I'll save that for next time, because I think we're already at like 20 minutes, and I want to keep these like palatable. I don't want to be in nobody's face for like 30 minutes to an hour. So yeah, I think that's going to be it for today. I still am not taking my meds. I don't know. I'm just in a good place right now, and I don't want to introduce anything that I have to rely on to be in a good place. So I am just going to ride this wave until, I'm going to ride this wave. There is no until. I'm not waiting for the other shoe to drop. I'm not anticipating foolishness. I'm just going to ride this wave, and this wave is going to carry me fro. Okay? It's going to carry me, no, two. It's going to carry me two. It's going to carry me all the way to wherever I need to go and wherever I need to be. And yeah, I feel good, and I am doing the things I need to do. Today is the 16th, and it marks 30 days of sobriety. I haven't drank, I haven't done anything um, that would impair my judgment. And I mean, I'm not like a hard drug doer or anything like that. So I don't want any implications to be made from my statement. But I am a drinker. I am a drinker. And I haven't drank at all. And I think this is the longest I've gone without drinking since basic training. And that is saying something, because it's been 10 years since I went to basic training. 10 years and some change. I went at 23, and now I'm 34. So it's been 11 years, excuse me. Um, and I wasn't like drinking every day or anything, although there was a point in time after I moved here, because liquor is so easily accessible, that I was drinking on the weekdays, and I had to cut that out. I cut that out probably when I first noticed that I had gained 30 pounds and tried to, was trying to lose weight. I was drinking a little more often, maybe even earlier this year. No, that was last year. Was it this year? I can't remember. One of these years, it was this year. It was this year. I had to implement a 3 drink maximum, and that was helpful. Oh no, that was last year because of the kidney situation. But then I had to re-implement it this year because I had, yeah, anyway. So that was fine. And then I went back to drinking only on the weekends. And then I went to drinking like once a week instead of like both weekend days because I'm trying to lose weight and you cannot burn fat while there's alcohol in your system. So if I have one rest day, then I can drink on that one day. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know. I just something was like stop drinking for because I'm going on vacation. That's why. And I wanted to see if it was really true that like I would lose a bunch of not a bunch of weight because it's hard for women to lose weight in certain situations. But anyway, um I wanted to see if the girlies were right. And I also just felt like drinking, it just takes me a long time to recover emotionally. Like, I don't know if y'all watch Housewives of Beverly Hills, but like Kyle was saying that she feels depressed the next day after she drinks. And I honestly, at first, I was like, I get it. But now I really get it. Like, I do feel depressed after drinking. It takes me a while to self motivate or self start. And like 9 times out of 10, the day after I drink, I'm just on my couch all day. So, like, that's 2 days that I'm just like out for the count. And I'm not a member of grind culture, but like right now for the things I want to do, 2 days out for the count, I just, it's hard for me to do everything I need to do to be successful the next week if I'm down the whole weekend. Like I need one day to like just chill and one day to run errands. And then like Mondays I'm off, but I'm usually doing stuff. So it's just, I don't have 2 days to be out for the count. So anyway, this probably has taken me to 30 minutes. But I felt, I just felt kind of excited and I wanted to share that because this is exciting for me. And I'm not even pressed to like, oh, I'm going to have a drink tonight to celebrate. Like, nah, I probably won't drink until I go on vacation, which is next week. And then I think that after that, I'm going to implement a one drinking day a month instead of like every weekend. We'll see how realistic or unrealistic that is. Or maybe if I switch to like wine instead of tequila. But like I always feel like that's a waste of money. Just give me hard liquor if I'm gonna pay $15, $20. You know what I mean? But health over wealth. Health over wealth. And on that note, I'm gonna leave you all. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you as always. I hope you are having a wonderful Wednesday or whatever day it is. I hope it's wonderful for you. See you next time.